I just watched Captain Laserhawk, and so should you. Now, in this little video here, I'm not going to be spoiling anything to the best of my capability. There's 5 pieces of promo art that Netflix released that I'll be flipping through, but other than that, I'm just going to be telling you about this. If you're worried about spoilers or anything like that, you're okay. This show is good. It is so extremely good. My hair is wet because I was watching this show. It was late at night, and after I got done watching this show, I thought to myself, I need to tell everybody that this show is good because it is so good. So I quick took a shower, ran over to my computer, and I said, I need to make a video telling people how good this show is because it's honestly so good, and I just do not see enough attention being given to this show. It is so good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to argue, okay? Because I'm trying to not spoil anything. We're going to argue why you should watch this show. The first point is it's good. When I got done watching the last episode, episode 6, my first thoughts were, God damn it. Why were they that? Because it was so good. I was frustrated that it hadn't ended. I was expecting it to be a 6-episode romp. Just sort of like a retro callback to a bunch of Ubisoft titles for fun. You know, it would end and then you would be like, ah ha ha, and then you go and you watch the next thing. But that's not what happened, unfortunately. It seemed to actually have a plot, which I'll put that up later. And when I got done with it, it reminded me a lot of Castlevania Season 1. Castlevania Season 1 was 4 episodes, and then they took a long time to make Season 2 to kind of complete the story arc, right? That's what this reminds me of. It is so good. I'm so frustrated that it didn't end because now I have to sit here and I have to wait for it. And I want you all to go watch it, so you all need to go wait for it too. I'm sure you guys have seen a series, a movie, something like that that was so good and it ended as like, this is part 1. And you thought to yourself, God damn it, because you knew it was going to be so frustrating to wait for the next piece of it, to wait until you saw the next of it. Okay, so what makes it good? Let's put my next argument here. It's not just a retro romp. Now, by that, what I mean is I think a lot of people expected this show because it uses all the Ubisoft IPs. You can see there's an Assassin's Creed Frog here, which is the most I'm going to spoil about him because, yeah, okay? So it's not just a retro romp, okay? And by that, what I mean is it doesn't just go, remember Assassin's Creed, everybody? Remember Splinter Cell, everybody? It doesn't just do that. While it does bring them up, and at certain parts, it can feel, what's the right way to put it? Like it's trying to reference them. It doesn't feel unnecessary, okay? It's obviously bringing up the Ubisoft titles, but it's kind of the best way I've had to describe it. It's kind of like a Frankenstein, okay? It's like they took these Ubisoft titles and they just combined them all into this weird Frankenstein amalgamation. We've got Rayman. Everybody knows it's got Rayman, and that's next to an Assassin's Creed Frog, which is next to a Far Cry Blood Dragon character, right? And it's all these different Ubisoft things combined, and it feels like what happened was the director came and was like, can I just use everything? And they're like, sure, yeah, go for it. Like, you know, it'll probably bring attention to our series. You know, Ubisoft's kind of been on the down end lately. They were like, screw it, just use everything. Just use every one of our IPs. Go for it. Why not, right? And that's what it feels like he did. So you just got everything. I mean, you got everything, okay? And I mean everything. And the thing is, it's not just a retro romp, okay? And I really want to emphasize that. It has a plot. It has characters. It has feeling. It doesn't just have pandering, let's call it that, okay? It is, I'm gonna put this word, it's unexpected. And by this, I really need to emphasize how unexpected it is, okay? Characters, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say this is rated R. It's a hard rated R. There's no direct sex or anything like that, but the violence is up there. And it's not just the gory violence, it's the killing, let's put it that way, of characters. People will die that you really don't want to die, and people will live that you really don't want to live, and it is at times very frustrating. It is one of the only shows I've watched in a very long time that made me actually out loud go, "Aw," because a character I liked ended up dying, and it was so unexpected, and it kind of came out of nowhere. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because you won't know. You won't know how to expect it, or when to expect it, or where to expect it, because it's really unexpected, okay? And 4, it avoids tropes, and it really avoids tropes. Now, I'm not trying to say it goes, what a twist, and, you know, it just, aha, you expected this to happen, but this happened. Everything that happens within this, and this show is weird, okay? Let me just put it that way. This show is very weird. It's like everything is dialed up to 11, okay? But what I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to emphasize here is that, like, what's even the right way to put this? It just, every time you think you get bored, and I'm 33, I've watched a lot of television in my life, okay, I have, and every time I was like rolling my eyes like, oh yeah, okay, it went in a different way, and I was like, oh my god. There were several points where I audibly just, I swear my neighbors must have heard me. I just went, what? Because I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, what, are you serious? It just, it wasn't, what's the right way to put it? It wasn't stupid. Like, the show is stupid. Everything is ramped up to 11. We got giant Power Ranger mecha things, right? Which have been in the promos, so don't hate me for saying that, right? And it just, that is stupid, but like the plot twists aren't stupid. It just avoids tropes. And you're probably saying, how can it avoids tropes really be a positive? You just gotta watch it, and you'll agree with me here, okay? You will very much agree with me that it avoiding tropes is very much a positive, okay? And I'm gonna, these all sound like the same thing, but trust me when I say, while they are very similar, it will come off as different, okay? It surprised me a lot. Some of the things it brought up, some of the things it said, literally just made, I just audibly was like, what? Because, I mean, I'm not even saying like unexpected plot twists. I'm just saying like a character would be brought in and you're like, that is so stupid. And yet it just makes sense for this. And that's all I can say about that. And oh man, it's only 6 episodes, and yet you're gonna be sitting here, and I promise you're just gonna be watching the whole time like, oh my god. I mean, the characters that you want to hate, you're gonna hate, but you're gonna like them, and then you're gonna go back to hating them. And then the characters you like, you're gonna continue to like, but maybe you like them less, but then you like them more, but then you like them less, because it's a wild show. And there's only a couple characters, I will say. There are a couple characters though that I really like. The Assassin's Creed Frog is so delightful. I don't know a better way to put it. The Assassin's Creed Frog is delightful. He's amazing. I think that I don't really have a better way to put it, okay? God, what's another way to put it? It makes sense. Okay? The plot, it makes sense. Everything that happens, it makes sense. It's not one of these, it is sort of like an unexpected show where things happen and you're like, there's no way I could have seen that coming, right? But what I'm trying to say is that it makes sense. Even if something's unexpected, thinking back on it, you can say, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, no, you can't be mad at it. It's like a show that jumps out of the brushes and goes, aha! And you're like, oh my God, but you're like, oh, well, you did tell me you're going to be waiting in the brushes for me. So, you know, whose fault is this for me being surprised by that, right? And that's just what I'm trying to say, is it makes sense. And it's almost frustrating in how much sense it makes at times, because you're annoyed even, right? You're like, and this all goes into the same thing. It avoids tropes. It surprises you. It unexpected. I know you're about to say it's unexpected and it surprises me. Look, if something is unexpected, I can still not be surprised by it, right? Like if I didn't suspect something, you can still sit there and be like, oh, wow, what a twist. But, like, you're not surprised by it, right? You're like, yeah, I kind of knew something was happening. But, like, in this one, the best way I can put it is it actually manages to catch you off guard. It manages to catch you off guard a lot, okay? Because I guess television has just sort of become so repeatable throughout time, right? That you start to roll your eyes and be like, oh, I bet this is going to happen. Oh, cool. I bet this is going to happen. Oh, cool. And the show, it does kind of disarm you for a little bit. For a little bit, it does disarm you, and it does try to be campy. But you'll see that it's so, not even slowly, it whittles it away very, very quickly, in fact. It's just like bam, 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 and you're like, okay, now I'm interested. And that's really how I was with the show. You go in there expecting a psychedelic romp, right? Of funny show does funny thing, right? And what do you end up getting? You end up getting Assassin's Creed Frog. And this is a real thing. Assassin's Creed Frog is a real thing. I don't know how to describe this any better. He's in the promo. This is canonically a frog from the Assassin's Order from Assassin's Creed. Canonically. He is from this order. He follows their tenets. He has the hidden blades. He is Assassin Frog. How can that possibly tie into the show? You'll just have to watch it. I don't know a better way to put it. Oh man, I just have to put that here. Assassin's Creed Frog. I might actually order his plushie. If his plushie wasn't so, man, bad, I might actually order it. I'm contemplating it because I like this character so much. He's such a delightful character. I don't really know a better way to put it. And really, am I trying to bait you right now? Maybe. Maybe I'm trying to bait you. Maybe I'm not trying to bait you. Because any of the characters you've seen in front of you can be the characters who die or don't die. Am I unbaiting you by rebaiting you? I don't even know anymore where we are in this conversation. I really liked his character. I think that he was just a really well done character, okay? And you know what? My last point here, and this isn't like a definitive list. I'm sure there's more, but I'm just trying to keep this spoiler free. The ending was actually, honest to God, really, really, really good. And I mean that. It's one of these endings where after you get done watching it, you see the credits rolling up and you see that, like, you know, it's not done and you're gonna have to wait for the next season. And you're just sitting there like, oh, god damn it. And that's, I don't know how much to say that, dude. It's just so, it's like frustrating because you're like, why did you have to be such a good show? So go watch this. I promise you, go watch Captain Laserhawk, okay? It's a show that takes itself seriously in a show that should not be taken seriously. And it is so good for it. It is such a good show for it. It will much like, if any of you guys have seen Castlevania season 1 and 2, maybe not season 3 and 4, but at the very least season 1 and 2, now season 2's not out yet, so if you guys come back here in like 3 years and you're like, Shin, you really let us down, I'm just talking season 1. But from what I'm seeing and from where it's going, now, could it get better than this? I don't know. Maybe it gets worse. Maybe season 2 bombs. But I think the way it's going, this is going to be one of those shows that you go back and you watch it like every year because it's just so good. And I promise you, no matter how you're thinking, it's just so good. It is just really, really, really good. So go watch Captain Laserhawk. Trust me. So thank you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.